All right, what's up, guys? Matt Morrow, Pepman, Carolina Varsity. We're testing out a little bit of the live feature here on YouTube, and we're going to talk about a couple of scrimmages in the Charlotte area I think are worth your time and checking out this upcoming week. As you know, we've already started hitting. Some schools had some special hit days on Saturday, brought out some crowds. That was nice to see. And a lot of people are excited about getting the season going in the right direction and getting back to some high school football. So, of course, we are sponsoring the Carolina Varsity Jamboree. We're doing that in conjunction with 323 Sports. And, of course, it's going to be at Olympic High School Friday, August 11th. Beforehand, we're exploring the possibility of having a parents clinic from about 4:30 to 5:30. Having some coaches talk, having an official talk, answer some questions about high school football, and educating parents, more about the sport. Then, of course, at 6 o'clock, we'll kick things off. We have Charlotte Catholic going against East Mecklenburg. And we've already talked a little bit about the scrimmage as it is. It's always good to see Charlotte Catholic, really traditional power program here in the Charlotte area. Going against East Mecklenburg and Barry Shuford. As a lot of people know that follow high school football, Kamal Howard's left East Mecklenburg and transferred to Myers Park. So it'll be interesting to see who steps up as the new running back to fill the shoes of Howard in this scrimmage. Both of these teams are dealing with some different things. Catholic going down to 3A, playing a new set of schools. Mainly based out of Union County. They've been down there before in the past, and obviously with the success they've had in 4A, it's not a huge transition for them to go to 3A. East Mech in a very strong Southwestern Conference I did a preview on the other day. It'll be interesting to see the changes that they're making, especially on offense. They've made some adjustments to the offense. Coach Shuford has shared with some people. And be interesting to see what their plan is on that side of the ball. See if it's still going to be more of the ground-oriented attack, or are they going to let Khalil Gilliam, their four-year starter at quarterback, kind of throw the ball around a little bit and make some more plays down the field. 7 o'clock, we've got a lot of action going on. We've got the JV Catholic and JV East Mex squads that are going to go at it on their Olympic practice field, which is not far from the stadium. You can actually see it from the stadium. It's just behind the locker rooms. It's a short walk, and I'm sure they'll have some bleachers set up over there if you want to check that out. But on the main field, we'll have South Mech going against Butler. Of course, South Mech led by head coach Rocky White, formerly head coach at West Mech. His father coached at Olympic back in the, I believe the 60s or 70s, one of those. I'm sure Dale will correct me. But South Mech's got some changes on coordinators on both sides of the ball. Be interesting to see what their plan of attack is. See if they might, attack things a little differently with different people leading in those positions. And of course, there's two people to watch: D'Angelo Blair Young at running back and linebacker, and Jazeer Staten at corner, who's a very good corner with good size and a good technique. Butler, be interesting to see who takes the quarterback role for them. As it's been wide open. Davis Cheek was leading it the past couple years, but of course now he's gone and moved on to Elon. Expect a lot of running game from Niger Peoples, a lot of different formations and motions that Coach Hales will use to kind of make things a little easier for the offense as they transition to a new leader. Defensively, I'm expecting Butler to be pretty strong. These schools have scrimmaged before. They scrimmaged last year at Butler, and I remember going down there and covering that, and Butler played well. South Met got things going a little bit towards the end of that scrimmage, so both teams are familiar with each other, and it'll be a good gauge and a good test for both of these schools to see where they are before we go into week one. And then in the night camp, you got the home team Olympic host school going against Myers Park. And of course, everyone knows that Myers Park has a lot of talent. They've also got a lot of very good coaching led by Scott Chadwick. And he's going to have probably his best team. And they were a pretty good team last year with 11 wins and making the second round of the playoffs. Of course, Olympic with head coach Jason Fowler coming from Rocky River, led by quarterback Dylan Ernie, who I believe is very underrated. He's going to end up being one of the best in the city when this year is over. And some athletic talent. Damon Rouse at running back had over 1,000 yards last year. Campbell is an athlete that they're going to move around and play in a lot of different positions. And it'll be interesting to see how they look defensively, because I think that's the key if they're going to challenge for a conference title. So each of one of these games is 2 quarters of live football. The coaches before each game will decide on how they want to do the kicking game. Myself, Dale Ross, and Jim West will be there, so please say hello if you see us. There's going to be good food, and I'm expecting a good crowd. I think this is the best scrimmage in the Charlotte area, and we won't get behind it if that wasn't the case. So very excited to see what happens Friday night. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. Right now it's a 40% chance of rain, but hopefully as the week goes on, those rain clouds will get out of here. We'll have a nice Friday night of football. All right, so let's take a look at 2 other scrimmages in the Charlotte area that I really like. Wednesday, August 9th, that's this Wednesday, 6 p.m., excuse me, up at Huff. Huff is hosting 3 other teams. Charlotte Catholic, who we just talked about. West Forsyth, who is featuring the 5-star defensive end KJ Henry, who is a monster of a player if you've never seen him. He also plays some offense as well. And then perennial power of West Rowan, and formerly led by Coach Scott Young. Coach Joe Nixon, who was Scott Young's offensive coordinator, is leading West Rowan now. And all 4 of these teams are really, really something that you should see. Huff is led by Matt Jenkins, formerly led by Miles Aldridge, who, if you didn't know, Miles Aldridge is now the defensive coordinator at Vance. And we'll talk about that as time goes on. But, Huff has their own number of talented kids. Jarrett Nagy, Rashad Williams, both in the backfield at running back. They also play some defense at linebacker and defensive back, respectively. Nolan Gruel, a really talented wide receiver who came from Davidson Day. Austin Robinson, another receiver who came from Lake Norman, is another one to watch. They've got several talented players, and it'll be interesting to see what Huff looks like on both sides of the ball. Of course, the defensive coordinator at Huff is Chachi Sullivan, who got elevated to that role when Matt Jenkins was brought on as head coach, and I think that's well deserving. He does a really good job, especially with those defensive backs. And like I said, West Forsyth made a nice run in the playoffs last year. They went on the road, beat Lake Norman in the second round. A lot of people didn't expect that. And West Rowan is a power down in the 3A ranks, as they've been for many years now. So that's a really good scrimmage. And you're seeing some teams outside of Charlotte and West Forsyth and West Rowan that dominate their areas, and they're going to come down and test their abilities. So go check that out if you've got some time. And the other scrimmage that I really like is that morning, Wednesday, August 9th at 9 a.m. And this is at East Meck High School. Of course, we just talked about East Meck with Coach Shuford. Butler will be there also. We discussed them a little bit. You got Harding, led by head coach Sam Griner. Of course, when you talk about Harding, you mentioned Quavaris Crouch, number 1 running back in the junior class, top 5 recruit in that class overall. But Harding has several more talented players. Javon Gwynn on the offensive line. And then you flip over to defense. Malik Dunlap at corner. Marcellus Harris playing the safety / rover position. Of course, Brahim Murphy is playing both sides of quarterback, and will play some DB as well. So there's a lot of talent there for Harding. It'll be interesting to see how they match up in this kind of scrimmage. You got A.L. Brown, who's just moved down to 3A from 4A. So, they're used to 4A football, led by Mike Newsom. Monroe, who is a very talented program. Johnny Souls led them for many years, producing all kinds of talented players. They're taking a step up in talent right here and testing themselves, which is good to see. And then Sun Valley, of course, we know about Sam Howell and all the talent that he has on the outside and at tight end with Luke Burnett as well. So this is a really good scrimmage with 6 really good teams, and I wish it was a night scrimmage or I'd be there. Unfortunately, I have to work in the morning, but I would advise, if you're available and can make it over there at 9 a.m. at East Meck, go check this out. This is a really, really good scrimmage with 6 very good teams. All of them with probably really good playoff aspirations, coming off playoff seasons for that matter. So go check them out for sure. I'll briefly mention some other scrimmages that were given to me. Wednesday morning, same morning, Central Cabarrus and Vance at Central Cabarrus. Wednesday, August 9th, 6 p.m. that night at Newton Conover. J.M. Robinson's going up there. At Mountain Island Charter, Saturday, August 12th, 2 p.m. I probably will make this one as well. Charlotte Latin and Concord First Assembly are coming up to Mountain Island. That'll be an interesting mix of teams there. Wednesday, August 9th, 9 a.m. at Metrolina Christian. They're hosting Central Academy, so nice Union County battle if you're down in that area. Wednesday, August 9th at Hickory Ridge. This is in the evening. Hickory Ridge is hosting Providence and West Charlotte. JVs will go from 6 to 7 p.m. and the varsity will go from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. A possibility I'll be at this one or I'll be at the Huff one Wednesday night. I'm looking for a scrimmage to cover Thursday evening. Of course, I'll be at the Carolina Varsity Jamboree Friday, as we discussed in the beginning. Saturday, I will be at the Mountain Island Charter scrimmage at 2 p.m. that afternoon. Saturday night, if you have one somewhere, I will come out and cover that one as well. So looking for Thursday night, looking for Saturday night. If you guys know of any scrimmages going on, you want some coverage, Carolina Varsity, meaning myself, or Dale Ross or Jim West will come out and check you out. All right. Thanks for watching. Definitely appreciate it.